Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am here, a little bit of a different camera setting because my good 4K camera it has been working for the past couple of days. It's really annoying, but nonetheless, we've got some news to get to. So let's go to the first bit of news, which is here. Palantir is named a leader in the Forrester Wave AI ML platforms. Their Q3 2020 report has come out. So this was really interesting. We saw this today on the Monday morning, or the Thursday morning. It's not even Monday. We're Thursday now in the week. Live stream that I did today. And this news was really interesting. It dropped this morning. Among the top 15 AI ML platform providers, Palantir received the highest possible ratings in the criteria of product vision, market approach, performance, and application. So let's go through this report, or let's at least explain, sort of understand what the point of the report is, and then we'll go through what the implications of what this means. So the Forrester Wave AI ML Platforms Q3 2022. As we can see on this graph, we have a variety of different platforms, all the way from IBM to Palantir to C3 AI, Data Robot, Google, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, Databricks, some of these bigger names that we see in the data analytics and AI space. And you can see on the graph, the top chart is going from weaker offering to stronger offering. So the higher you are on the chart, that means your offering is much stronger. And then from left to right, it's going from weaker strategy to stronger strategy. So if you are more to the right of the chart, you have a stronger strategy. And if you're to the top of the chart, you have a stronger current offering. Palantir is the highest among all of these different companies. So when you look at this graph, you see that Palantir is closer to the top of the strongest current offering that exists. It's ahead of C3 AI as well, which is competing with Palantir, and it has one of the stronger strategies. Now, C3 AI and Data Robot are a little bit to the right of Palantir, so they may have a better strategy. That may be for a variety of reasons in terms of their market presence or whatever else that they're offering, but Palantir is pretty up there in terms of having the strongest current offering and the strongest strategy, or one of the strongest strategies that exists. Now, the reason this is important, the 2022 Forrester Wave for AI ML platform reveals Palantir as a leader. Palantir Foundry received the highest possible scores in the product vision, performance, market approach, and applications criteria. A couple things here. The report states that Palantir has strengths in data exploration, preparation, annotation, and training. Palantir's AI solution-centric vision makes it an attractive platform for enterprises that wish to implement AI quickly. Reference customers appreciate the breadth of capabilities within the Palantir Foundry platform, particularly from the security and governance of ML, which is critical in many environments. We're going to talk about that in a second. Palantir is rooted in building data-driven intelligence applications for complex, high-value government and commercial use cases. And Palantir Technologies forges a resilient platform for complex, critical AI use cases. Its workflow includes tools for business users to identify requirements up front. So first, I want to talk about this part right here. The idea that implementing AI quickly and allows the breadth of capabilities within the Palantir platform for critical and governance environments. What this means is kind of like the GDPR regulations and the sort of data privacy and ethics things that are going on right now. Many governments and many companies have to deal with strict regulation when it comes to the ethics of AI, the ethics of data protection, and consumer privacy and civil liberties. As we've known, Palantir's philosophy rooted within the technology is around how do we make sure we offer governance and protection of consumer data. So as a result of that, it makes sense for why Palantir's AI solution-centric vision is an attractive platform for enterprises that want to comply, and that, quite frankly, must comply with these types of different regulations. You would probably say Palantir is one of the best of those out there. Then this one right here, Palantir is rooted in building data-driven intelligence applications for high-value government and commercial use cases. We just know that Palantir got a contract to work with Anduril Industries, which they've subcontracted. It's a prime contract for the government for their Army Titan program. This is a $36 million contract. Palantir has gotten a variety of governmental contracts over the past couple of months as well, from the CDC and they're bidding for one with the NHS in the UK. So we know that Palantir is trying to develop itself as a prime contractor, a software prime contractor, which is incredibly hard to do, but be one of the main people that the government actually cares about and that the government works with in a meaningful way. So if in that situation, Palantir has a really, really strong advantage, and obviously it is being recognized by a lot of these industry reports that they're doing well with the government. They hopefully will get well with the government over time. Another quote, Palantir is a solid choice for companies who have heavy data requirements and want to mix classical ML techniques with deep learning ML techniques to build complex AI solutions. Now, what is the report and why is the report important? The Forrester Wave for AI ML Platforms report is a guide for buyers considering purchasing options in the technology marketplace to offer an equitable process for all participants. Forrester allows the Forrester Wave methodology guide to evaluate participating vendors. So what Forrester is to me, and the way I understand it, before we get to the other part right there, is basically it's one of those things you just want to be on the report, right? It's like if you're a billionaire and you want to show the world that you're a billionaire and you're not on the Forbes like billionaire list, like if Forbes isn't recognizing you as a billionaire, a lot of the industry and media is not going to recognize you as a billionaire. So you're not going to get the praise that you want for being a billionaire if you care about narcissistically being on that Forbes list. So you need to get on some of these lists. We know that Palantir has been on a couple of these different lists before. I forgot it. I think the name's like Dresden report came out like 2 weeks ago that named Palantir as one of the top leaders in AI and business as well. So it's good to be on these lists. I mean, CFOs, CTOs, different people, C-suite executives are looking at these lists to make their decisions. It's kind of like advertisers are looking at the Nielsen ratings when they're trying to figure out where do they want to buy ads, because Nielsen is one of those respected research firms that actually provides accurate data on the ratings for television. So if you're going to buy television ads, you really care about those Nielsen ratings. So you want to make sure those Nielsen ratings do well. Palantir wants to get on these lists, and getting on these lists in general is not a bad thing. It can't hurt at all. In its assessment, Forrester evaluated 15 AI vendors that demonstrated comprehensive, differentiated AI ML platform solutions, active marketing as an AI ML platform for enterprise customers, adequate install base, revenue requirements, and client inquiries or market momentum. Vendors were evaluated against 25 criteria, grouped into 3 high-level categories: current offering, strategy, and market presence. And Palantir seemed to be at the top of pretty much all of those. So yeah, overall, this is definitely good news, not bad news. Palantir getting more reports. Is it going to move the stock? Probably not. The stock is actually down like 3-4% a day. Whenever we get this type of news and people are like, why is the stock down? It's like the macro. The macro is really bad right now. When you have inflation at 9.1%, tech valuations must come down. It is just it is a proven fact of existence. This is why tech valuations have to come down when inflation rates go up, or when inflation goes up. Fed fund rates have to go up, which means those valuations ultimately get compressed. So it may be a long time before we see a lot of these high growth tech companies that are like being weighed against cash and revenue in the future. And it's when interest rates go up, that stuff starts to go down, or the value of that stuff starts to go down. So at that point, none of this news is going to move the company. This is about the fundamentals about what the company is building over the next 2-3 years, how they're ranking in these reports. Like, think about it like this: if you're a Palantir shareholder, do you not want them to be at the top of the list? No. So does it affect the stock price? Probably not, but you probably want them to be at the top of the list. If they're not making these lists, if they're not getting certain governmental contracts, if they're losing to their people, that signals worry, and they're not executing at the level they are executing at. All I've seen is good execution from them, even if the stock price doesn't reflect that. And that's the thing that I really care about and I think about analyzing as well. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you thought and interpreted this report. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. You can check out dailypalantir.com, where I'm going to be releasing my written analysis of this as well. It's my blog that curates all that Palantir content. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.